Hello everyone, my name is Akash Tamang and today I will be presenting on the topic Understanding K-Culture. We will be diving into the early history of K-pop, especially from 1907 to 1945. During this period when Korea was under Japanese colonial rule. And moving to the slide, setting the stage. K-pop today is a global sensation, but its root trace back much further than most people realize. In this presentations, I will take you through the early beginnings of Korean popular music, focusing on the time between 1907 and 1945. This was a period of Japanese colonial rule, a time of struggle but also a cultural development and musical innovations. As you can see in this picture, the peoples are learning music innovation and Korea under Japanese rule 1910 to 1945. Japan officially annexed Korea in 1910, which led to a period of cultural obsessions. Korean language, arts, and especially music were heavily concerned. However, this time also saw the introductions of Western music brought in through Japan and Christian missionaries. Cities like Seoul become cultural hubs where people were exposed to new musical forms, setting the stage for what would become Korean popular music. And the next slide, the rise of popular music. The journey from traditional folk song to early K-pop begins around 1907 with the first known audio song recorded by Park Chae-seon. These early songs fused traditional Korean elements with both Japanese and Western influences. Emotional themes like sorrow and national identity were common, especially due to the colonial context. It was during the period that Koreans' first pop genre begin to take shape. As you can see in this slide, the song by Park Chae-seon, and this one is the link. You can watch by this link also. And moving to the next slide, the first Korean pop stars, like here in this picture, Kim Jong-un and the Park Ji-seon and the Lee Nan-young. Look at some of the figures in early Korean pop. Lee Nan-young became famous for her 1935 hit Tears of Mokpo, which is considered a classic trot song. Park Chae-seon mentioned earlier, it was first Korean voice ever recorded. Kim Jong-un was another influential singer during the 1930s. Many of these artists were influenced by Japanese Inca and Western jazz, blending different style into something uniquely Korean. Moreover, the songs of survival and splits. Concerns, even with strict censorship, Korean musicians found ways to express national identity and resistance through their lyrics and performance style. Music became a sublet form of the prospered and a way to preserve Korean culture. The emotional power of these songs helped keep the national spirit alive during a time of colonizations and hardship. And it shows in 20s K-pop. We can still hear the legacy of early Korean pop in today's K-pop. The vocal emotion of truth lives on in modern ballad. The blending of Korean and international style continues, and the focus on stage presence and performance. So important is idol culture actually started in these early days. Like nowadays, the BTS is famous, and in the figure here is the BTS group. Some examples. Mm. In the figures, like example, nowadays K-pop like BTS, and in the past history like the band of the Prince. The bands are the fastest musicians band, and nowadays the BTS is following that bands and preserving the Korean culture and the musical innovations. So a foundation built in struggle. In conclusion, the years between 1907 and 1945 laid the emotional and cultural foundations for um, what we now know as a K-pop. Understanding this history help us appreciate not just the music but resilience and creativity of Korean artists who paved the way for the global phenomenon. As you can see in the past, these are the fastest musical instrument, and the people were learning the song or music, the sources and the inspirations. My sources from these presentations include the book of Made in Korea Studies in Popular Music by Hyun Jong Sin and Seung Lee, various academic articles on the colonial music policy, the music, the Korean music Egypt, and several YouTube videos featuring early Korean truth music. At last, thank you for listening. 감사합니다.